Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Sha Kingdom, Luoyin Primal Chaos State. The latest complete intelligence on Luohi. In the quiet room, where he was in seclusion, Marquis Luoyin was already examining this intelligence report. He had a long-term subscription to information on Luohi, receiving any new intelligence at the first instance. However, as Luo Feng's strength grew increasingly formidable, the price for the information also became increasingly exorbitant. The first to transcend the primal chaos realm in the entire land of origin, and he even created his own body refining method. In the not-so-distant future, will he become a godly king? Moreover, avatars, too numerous to count. This information, one piece after another, made Marquis Luoyin's expression grow even uglier. He felt the crisis of death already looming over him. He can easily create avatars, and Huyang City is his city. There must be avatars sitting in power. Marquis Luoyin looked up. Considering the fact that they were neighbors, the distance between them was too close. If this intelligence is correct, without any external help, he could become number one in transcending the primal chaos realm. With such talent, he could become a godly king at any time. Once he becomes a godly king, his strength will improve across the board. Perhaps he will be able to completely kill me. Marquis Luoyin's heart trembled. As a pinnacle of primal chaos realm being, his survival abilities were very strong. Yet Luo Feng's current strength was terrifying, and after becoming a godly king, just how formidable would he become? Life, destruction, matter, cultivating three great Taos of origin simultaneously, who knows what terrifying moves he will comprehend once he becomes a godly king. If in an instant all my revival vessels are destroyed, it would mean complete death. Marquis Luoyin thought. To completely exterminate a being from the primal chaos realm, even preventing them from using the reincarnation's secret art in time, was a very difficult task. But considering the terror of Luohi, Marquis Luoyin did not dare to take any risks. This Luo he detests evil as his enemy. Based on my understanding of his temperament, he is ignoring me right now only because he's not confident he can kill me completely. Once he is sure, he will likely make his move silently. Marquis Luoyin's eyes were cold. Enough, enough. Let go of everything at hand. After going through the intelligence report, Marquis Luoyin made a decision after some contemplation. Only through reincarnation can I completely sever the karmic entanglement with Luohi. I can't provoke him, I can only avoid him. Marquis Luoyin thought to himself. Reincarnation, under the operation of the highest rules, would render the reincarnated soul impossible to find by anyone. I must act quickly. If I'm too slow, who knows when he will become a godly king. Marquis Luoyin was also very decisive. Clans. Territories. In his heart, none of these were as important as his own self, and he decided to abandon everything in just moments. That very day, Marquis Luoyin ended his seclusion and began making some arrangements. Once everything was properly arranged, the time for his reincarnation would come. Snow Realm territory, where countless snowflakes fell all year round. The snowflakes touched the ground and turned into streams, gradually merging into countless rivers. These countless rivers surged, and their main bodies, branches, dense as blood vessels, spread throughout the entire snow realm. These countless snowflakes, these numerous rivers that covered the snow realm, were the true body of the ancestral god of the snow realm. This was a mighty being, who had cultivated the great Tao of life origin, to an unimaginable extent. A figure formed from the gathering of high-floating snowflakes, smiling as it gazed in the direction of the flame-wind ancient country. The last time I heard the name Luohi, it was because he killed my disciple and became enemies with Marquis Luoyin. He even went to the flame-wind ancient country with Emperor Chu Yu. Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, he would have already become the first to transcend the primal chaos realm? The ancestral god of the snow realm, whose sins ranked in the top 10 in the land of origin, had an air of transcendence yet seemed incomparably pure. He had mastered all 6 branches of the great Tao of life origin, and also used the blood-dripping scripture to oversee these 6 branches, perfecting his cultivation to the extreme of the first realm of godly king, reaching the realm of as blood marks the boundary. The great Tao of life origin provides the greatest survival ability. I have cultivated the blood-dripping scripture to the ultimate extreme of the first realm of godly king, and when it comes to survival, many at the second realm of godly king are not my match. However, my offensive capabilities are too weak. The ancestral god of the snow realm slightly shook his head. In a direct confrontation, I reckon I would be only about equal to Luo He. Given his reputation, his direct strength indeed seemed somewhat lacking. Techniques like the extermination of 72 blades, even without leveraging any external objects, can fight beyond their level once reaching the peak of the first realm. This is the difference in cultivation paths. The path of destruction, with all 6 branches designed for slaughter, naturally has extreme strength in killing. But the path of life origin, even though it also has methods for extinguishing life forces, is much weaker in combat compared to other paths. Destruction, matter, time, space, infinity. Which one of these paths isn't stronger in direct combat than life? I cultivate life, and to comprehend higher levels of the primordial bloodline is also suitable for me. It's just that once I begin cultivation, the will remnants within the primordial bloodline will contaminate me. The ancestral god of the snow realm was well aware of the flaws of this path. Once the primordial bloodline merges with the body, it does more than transform the body, it also twists the soul and contaminates the spiritual will. The inherent will within the primordial bloodline constantly corrupts the practitioner's own will. The flaw of this path is more severe the further one goes. It is said that above the ultimate realm of God King, there are numerous drawbacks to the primordial bloodline. But no matter how great the flaws, they cannot hide one fact: these bloodlines come from primordial life outside the braided cage. That is a higher level of life. In order to cultivate the blood-dripping scripture, I've amassed countless sins and formed many karmic ties. I can sense I must become stronger, else my life will come to a complete end. The ancestral god of the snow realm thought. Phew. Instantly, the figure dissipated and delved back into cultivating the primordial bloodline. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The rise of Luo He, the creation of his own body-refining method, and the possession of the strength to stand as the first in transcending the primal chaos realm. This news spread among the true powerhouses of the land of origin. Within the Thunder ancient country, there was a holy land known as Mt. Leitang. Mount Leitang. The mountain-sitting guest had also arrived here. From a distance, Mount Leitang appeared as a towering high mountain, but upon ascending, one would find it incredibly vast and extensive, with separate spacetimes existing atop it. All 9 monarchs of the Thunder ancient country had their true bodies, or avatars, frequently residing here, along with other godly kings and elite members of the imperial clan. My disciple is much stronger than I was, mountain-sitting guest felt quite pleased. Transcendence of the primal chaos realm number 1. At my pinnacle, I was about as strong as Luo Feng is now. Back when he was God King Jin, he cultivated his godly body as one would a secret treasure weapon. Reaching the cosmic body realm, his physical body was extremely terrifying, not inferior to Luo Feng's today. Even when fleeing, his physical body acted like a fleeing class secret treasure, possessing many abilities to escape. When the 3 city lords of Sha Kingdom made thorough preparations and suddenly struck, the mountain-sitting guest still managed to escape. But during that sudden attack, his wife, fellow sect members, and his tribal clan were all annihilated. Under his endless hatred, he chose to go to the universe ocean, seeking an opportunity for revenge. My wife, my fellow sect members, my brothers in life and death, my tribal clan. Mountain-sitting guest harbored endless resentment, which, after ages of brewing, had deeply infused into his soul. For revenge, he was willing to pay any price. You need to be patient, wait for Luo Feng to grow. Mountain-sitting guest even avoided seeking out Luo Feng, not wanting to put any pressure on him, and just wishing for Luo Feng to grow steadily and securely. As mountain-sitting guest pondered this, he walked along and suddenly noticed a figure ahead. Immediately he saluted, Desert Wind City Lord. The divine power incarnation of Desert Wind City Lord simply responded impatiently, and went far away. Mountain-sitting guest did not mind at all, because he knew that the true body of Desert Wind City Lord was currently imprisoned by his own disciple, Luo Feng. A moment later, mountain-sitting guest arrived at an ancient hall where he patiently waited in the spacious hall. After a long time, a figure bathed in flames appeared on the throne of the hall. Zhuoshanjin, you wish to cultivate the primordial bloodline. The flaming figure looked down at mountain-sitting guest. Yes, God of Fire King, mountain-sitting guest replied respectfully. Guest official of primal chaos realm, you want to cultivate the primordial bloodline. You either gather enough merit points, or fully join the Thunder Ancient Country. The flaming figure looked at mountain-sitting guest. Your merit points are insufficient. Mountain-sitting guest said, I am willing to fully join the Thunder Ancient Country. Guest elders are quite free. It is normal for them to leave an ancient country. But once fully joined, they are tied to the war chariot of Thunder Ancient Country. Good, the flaming figure nodded. Fully joining the Thunder Ancient Country only grants you the qualifications to cultivate the primordial bloodline. Truly mastering it, there are still many obstacles. Even among the imperial clansmen, few who enter the primordial bloodline succeed in transcending the primal chaos realm. I understand, mountain-sitting guest responded. To cultivate the primordial bloodline, the stronger your spiritual will, the better, and the deeper your understanding and accumulation of the Tao, the better. If you are completely corrupted by the residual will of the primordial bloodline and forget yourself, then you have completely lost control, the flaming figure said. According to the rules of our Thunder Ancient Country, once you completely lose control and lose yourself, you will be imprisoned in the Snow Demon Prison for 10,000 eras. If you still cannot regain yourself within 10,000 eras, you will be executed. I understand. I have made my preparations, mountain-sitting guest stated. He was originally a godly king, a realm much higher than primal chaos. Having faced countless hardships, his spiritual will was also at the level of the second realm of godly king. Mountain-sitting guest was confident in maintaining clarity as he began his training. As for the later stages, that was uncertain. Not long ago, an ancient being of Thunder Ancient Country, Snow Demon God King, lost control. The power of Snow Demon God King was comparable to that of the 9 monarchs of Thunder Ancient Country. The reason he never became a monarch was that he couldn't fully control his own power and would occasionally lose control. This time, during his loss of control, he rampantly devoured all things, even consuming another godly king of the imperial clan, God King Laisha, along with ingesting an ultimate realm God King weapon, completely digesting that weapon. Follow me, first select the primordial bloodline inheritance, then choose the corresponding primordial bloodline. The flaming figure led mountain-sitting guest away. The city lord of Desert Wind was also paying his respects to the godly king at this moment. Ancestor, my true body has been suppressed and imprisoned by Luo He, the divine power incarnation of the city lord of Desert Wind said urgently. He mentioned that he needs at least 300 billion cosmic sand to release me. I can gather 80 billion myself, but I still need 220 billion more. You are incapable on your own and you seek to borrow cosmic sand from me? A towering giant seated there, stroking his scale armor, said dismissively, "I myself am short of resources for cultivation." "Ancestor," the city lord of Desert Wind said desperately, "why don't you speak with Luo He yourself?" The towering giant angrily said, "There's nothing to discuss. Don't you know the rules of the Thunder Ancient Country? At the same level of conflict, superiors do not interfere. If you are less powerful than your opponent, then you deserve to die." Even if God Kings of the Thunder Ancient Country and Flame Wind Ancient Country fight to the death, many godly kings have died through history. Both ancestors never interfered. At the same level of conflict, superiors do not interfere. If you die, it's because you weren't strong enough. If there's bullying of the weak, both ancient countries will not tolerate it. Then what can I do? In the primal chaos realm, nobody can fight Luo He, the city lord of Desert Wind said helplessly. "That's not to say there is no way," the towering giant said with a sly smile. "The Snow Demon prison currently needs a guard. Just 1,000 eons there and you can earn 1,000,000 merit points. I can exchange these 1,000,000 merit points for 300 billion cosmic sand for you." A guard of the Snow Demon prison, the city lord of Desert Wind panicked. The god of fire is currently imprisoned there. The Thunder Ancient Country is very accommodating towards the god of fire, also hoping to gradually let him fully master his bloodline power. Once he can maintain his sanity forever, he will truly become a monarch. To gain 1,000,000 merit points quickly, this is the only way, the towering giant said. "Don't worry, the god of fire, being imprisoned, is relatively safe." The city lord of Desert Wind grimaced. "Relatively safe? Should there be the slightest problem? The true body he is responsible for guarding must be annihilated, potentially even corrupted." "Let me think. I need to think more," the city lord of Desert Wind said worriedly. "This task is very scarce. Once an emperor-level puppet can be dispatched there, this task won't be yours anymore," the towering giant said, as guarding the Snow Demon prison also involves many tasks. Emperor-level power puppets are most suitable, not afraid of will corruption. But they are extremely rare, and with many potentially uncontrollable powerhouses in the Thunder Ancient Country, there are not enough Emperor-level puppets available. "Ancestor, I will think of another way," the city lord of Desert Wind immediately bowed and left, determined not to take the role of guard at the Snow Demon prison if there was any other choice. The second eruption of the Blood Spirit Star also lasted about 3 days. Luo Feng encountered no interruption, and easily collected all the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls. The second eruption has ended. Luo Feng looked at the now tranquil Blood Spirit Star and nodded slightly. "This time I have obtained a total of 72 Blood Spirit Golden Pearls." Following that, Luo Feng thought and tucked away the vast Black River world. For these 3 days, the Black River world was maintained, just in case someone tried to steal the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls. 3 days and this city lord of Desert Wind can't even produce 300 billion cosmic sand. Luo Feng shook his head. After negotiating with the city lord of Desert Wind, Luo Feng had agreed to release him as long as he could provide the 300 billion cosmic sand. 300 billion cosmic sand is roughly equivalent to 1,000,000 merit points. Cultivating a primordial bloodline physical body would cost at least a few million merit points. Asking for merely the value of 1,000,000 merit points is not too high. "First, I'll send the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls back." Luo Feng swooshed through the air. While flying, Luo Feng naturally split an avatar. An avatar carried the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls directly towards Chu capital. Another true body, however, headed straight for the border city Xiangjia City, where Great Saint Yang Su was located. Thanks to Venerable Shu Xin for another rewarding contribution to the hierarch. Flame Wind Ancient Country, Chu capital. Brother Luo He, the divine power incarnation of Emperor Chu Yu, saw Luo Feng above the Marquis mansion. Luo Feng descended nearby, smiling. "The second wave of the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls has ended, and this time I got 72 blood spirit golden pearls. As he spoke, he waved his hand, and all those blood spirit golden pearls were taken out. Emperor Chu Yu watched with fiery eyes. The last time Luo Feng had brought 9 blood spirit golden pearls, which made it a total of 81 blood spirit golden pearls including this time. Marquis Chu Ying, who ranked second in the task for the blood spirit golden pearls, had only 25 pearls. Because of Brother Luo He, I am absolutely the first in the task for the blood spirit golden pearls, Emperor Chu Yu remarked sentimentally. Judging from the time, Blood Spirit Star might erupt a third wave within the task deadline, Luo Feng mentioned. The task deadline was an era, and now only half the time had passed. Upon reflection, Emperor Chu Yu said, "Now that I'm securely in first place for the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls task, if there is a third eruption of Blood Spirit Golden Pearls, Brother Luo He, would you consider selling them to other first-rank marquises? I believe one could sell a Blood Spirit Golden Pearl for 20 to 30 billion cosmic sand. Selling 30 to 50 pearls would amount to 100 billion cosmic sand. No need." Luo Feng shook his head. "Don't lose sight of the bigger picture for a small gain. Your heavenly task is far more important." A warmth filled Emperor Chu Yu's heart. He felt that Brother Luo He had helped him greatly, and he had little with which to repay the kindness. "I understand," nodded Emperor Chu Yu. As a newly promoted first-rank marquis, his resource accumulation was limited, and only by scoring high enough in this heavenly task could he attain truly precious resources. "When the time comes, I will select some suitable precious resources to give to Brother Luo He." Emperor Chu Yu silently made a decision. To share a portion, in Emperor Chu Yu's view, was only right. Without Brother Luo He, his ranking would probably drop a lot, significantly reducing the resources he could get. Moreover, Emperor Chu Yu understood Luo Feng's nature. He was not an ungrateful person. Furthermore, even the Flame Wind Pavilion's intelligence reports said it wouldn't be long before Luo He would become a godly king. Offering resources, naturally, the sooner the better. "I have an avatar residing in the cave mansion," Luo Feng said. "If there is any trouble, feel free to find me." "Will do," Emperor Chu Yu responded, confirming the information was correct. Brother Luo He indeed had many avatars. After delivering the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls, Luo Feng left shortly after. Right now, during the effects of the primordial crystal spirit fruit, Luo Feng had no interest in pleasure, and was focused solely on cultivation. "Before I concentrate on cultivation, first, I must provide a certain punishment to Yang Su." Luo Feng's true body hurried on his way, heading straight for Xiangjie City. Xiangjie City was also one of the many cities along the long border line between the two great ancient countries. Normal border cities were usually garrisoned by cultivators from the primal chaos realm. But Xiangjie City was garrisoned by a transcendent of primal chaos realm, which showed how special this place was. It should be noted that transcendents of the primal chaos realm, in the entire Flame Wind ancient country, were already rare. Even fewer were those willing to garrison cities, which were only about a dozen, and each of them garrisoned critical locations. In Xiangjie City, naturally, the most esteemed position belonged to the Guardian General Yang Su. This Two Worlds Palace has an illustrious reputation, and among the many powers hidden in darkness in the land of origin, Two Worlds Palace ranks as one of the top. It's rumored that its official members are at least of the second realm of Godly King. Yang Su grimaced, "But I never imagined they could act so shamelessly." "What's this? I only got 8 blood spirit golden pearls. It didn't reach the agreed 10 pearls. All the promised benefits, gone." Yang Su was seething with rage inside. This time, he dealt with a mysterious existence from the Two Worlds Palace. In his caution, he promised that he could get at least 10 blood spirit golden pearls. In his view, with his methods, to obtain 10 blood spirit golden pearls across 2 or 3 eruptive waves was a breeze, and this was a cautious estimate he gave. He obtained 8 pearls on the first eruption, but starting from the second, Luo Feng monopolized them, ultimately failing to reach a total of 10 pearls. I fought for my life and managed to get 8 blood spirit golden pearls. I even confronted Luo He. I've made an enemy out of Luo Feng. And now I get nothing for it. Yang Su had a taste of how an official member of the Two Worlds Palace conducted business. There was nothing he could do about it either. On one hand, he had no clue about the other party's identity, and with such a vast disparity in strength, he had no recourse. On the other hand, he did not achieve 10 pearls. The other party had not broken their promise. No wonder these hidden powers keep to the darkness. They talk of fairness, but each one is darker than the last. Yang Su thought to himself, next time, I must secure the benefits before doing the job. This time, he had truly suffered a great loss. Suddenly, Yang Su, within the garrison mansion, employed his control over the entire Xiangjie city's formation, sensing a massive operation of laws descending. Not good. Yang Su looked up, and immediately saw the sky outside darken. Whoosh! Yang Su instantly appeared above the garrison mansion, only to see a dark world with a scope of 1 trillion kilometers, completely sealing off the entire Xiangjie city. The diameter of Xiangjie city was only about 300 billion kilometers. Luo Feng's Black River world spanned 1 trillion kilometers, completely sufficient to encompass the city, wrapping it totally within. It's Luo his Black River world. Yang Su's heart turned cold. The trouble had arrived. This Luo He really showed no mercy. Luo He, Yang Su immediately spoke up, his voice resonating powerfully across the skies of Xiangjie city. In the high skies of Xiangjie city, a towering figure appeared, and it was the form of Luo Feng. Brother Luo He, I admit that I have offended you in the past, and I am willing to apologize. Is there any way to dissolve the enmity between us? Yang Su's voice transmission said. Luo Feng looked at him and said, if you are willing to apologize, I am not so petty. Our grudge can naturally be erased. Please name your price, Brother Luo He, Yang Su said. Having lost, he had to accept defeat. I have heard that the great Saint Yang Su possesses a pair of void divine cones. Compensate me with that pair, and this matter will be settled. Luo Feng's voice rose in Yang Su's ears, and for a moment, Yang Su's eyes reddened. A pair of void divine cones. These were treasures he had painstakingly accumulated, exchanging a full 800,000 merit points for this pair of godly king weapons, which he cherished even more than his own life. When his complete avatar was out on business, it only carried primal chaos realm weapons. If it died, so be it. He always kept this pair of godly king weapons in the safest place. Brother Luo He, you are asking for a pair of godly king weapons just like that. Isn't that a bit too much? Yang Su was furiously indignant. His long years of accumulation had been mostly invested in his own cultivation, and the most precious of all was this pair of godly king weapons. He would rather let Luo Feng kill his avatar 10 times, 100 times, than lose the godly king weapons. To offer an apology, one must be sincere. Luo Feng looked at him. A mere pair of first realm godly king weapons, and you're unwilling to part with them. And you call this an apology? I admit I have offended Brother Luo He before, Yang Su said. I guess Brother Luo He has also surmised that there are reasons for me targeting you. I am willing to explain the reason to Brother Luo He. Brother Luo He, could you perhaps lower the compensation? To say or not to say, that is up to you. Luo Feng shook his head. What could make a transcendent of the primal chaos realm deliberately target him, and bear a grudge against him? Ever since he arrived in the land of origin, he had kept a low profile, and tried not to cause trouble. There were only a handful of conflicts with him. With a little deduction, Luo Feng guessed, it must be that person from the Two Realms Palace. I didn't mean to offend Brother Luo He, it was that person from the Two Realms Palace, Yang Su's voice transmission said. There is a clear creditor for a grievance, and I am merely acting on orders, just a claw of that entity. I guessed it was the Two Realms Palace, but I am equally unable to deal with the other party. Luo Feng looked at Yang Su. What I can do is to cut off its claw first. Yang Su was frantic. To me, losing a few avatars is not a big deal. But if you act, it would be an attack on the frontier cities, and ruin the military discipline of the flame-wind ancient country. Luo Feng shook his head. I guess that pair of godly king weapons is on you right this moment. Yang Su looked at Luo Feng. Oh. Are you so certain? Yang Su, you have two complete avatars, one adventuring outside, which would not carry important treasures. The other one, staying in Xiangjia City, is the one carrying the priceless treasures, Luo Feng said. Godly king weapons are naturally carried with one's self for contemplation. Most importantly, if the avatar didn't carry treasures, you wouldn't care about its death, nor would you be so humble and forbearing. Luo Feng looked at him. Yang Su was annoyed. He practiced the clone technique, dispersing his avatars across different places in the land of origin. If it weren't for the treasures he carried with him, why would he bear it? Luo He. Yang Su sneered, you should be able to check the uniqueness of Xiangjia City. To have a transcendent of the primal chaos realm as its guardian general, Xiangjia City was indeed very special. Before Luo Feng made his move, he naturally gathered information in advance. Xiangjia City guards the entrance to a world known as Xiangjia. Yang Su sneered, within Xiangjia, there are creatures with the primordial bloodline cultivated by ancestor Yang Feng themselves. If you attack Xiangjia City, and cause any flaws to appear at the guarded entrance, can you afford the consequences? Attacking border cities is a serious crime. If an accident occurs in the guarded world, the crime is compounded, towering into a grave offense, Yang Su said. I, Yang Su, am responsible for guarding Xiangjia City, and have always been diligent in preventing any accidents. If you attack, I must defend to my utmost, and it's very possible that the entrance will sustain cracks. I've already warned you about the risks. If you knowingly commit this offense, nobody can save you. Yang Su looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng was listening. Yang Su's tone softened. I possess a godly king weapon and operate powerful formations. It won't be easy for you to breach the city defenses. I advise you, Brother Luo He, to leave. I am willing to compensate 500 billion cosmic sand to resolve our conflict. 500 billion cosmic sand isn't even enough to buy a single first realm of godly king weapon, and you call that compensation? Forget it, Luo Feng shook his head. Under the vast cloak of the dark world, Luo Feng's gaze turned frosty. Yang Su, sensing trouble, immediately exerted all his effort to control the city's formation, wanting to repel the impending attack. Boom 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 tilde 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 tilde. Suddenly, an enormous and endless black river materialized within Xiangjia City, surging tumultuously. In the blink of an eye, it had flooded the entire city, effortlessly seeping through many key formation junctures, effortlessly breaking through them. When did you enter the city? Yang Su couldn't believe that the endless black river had already infiltrated the city, disrupting the formation's hubs from the inside. Since Luo Feng had decided to act, he naturally took advantage of his formless and intangible abilities earlier on, turning 30 billion black rivers into intangible currents that flew into the city and mingled with the atmospheric currents. Without the formation, what can you do? Luo Feng looked down on him. The endless black river spread out, these same rivers also shielding the countless cultivators within Xiangjia City, preventing them from being affected. What's going on? This black water flow, it seems to be harmless. The numerous cultivators in Xiangjia city watched as the gentle black currents encircled them, spreading everywhere gently. They could even feel a strong sense of safety. Attacking the city, destroying the formation, causing the entrance to Xiangjia to be wide open. This towering crime, flame-wind ancient country, will never spare you. Yang Su's face contorted ferociously. Knowing he couldn't escape as the Black River world had sealed the inside and outside, he saw his pair of godly king weapons about to be seized, raging with reluctance. Luo He, I will surely report this to the emperor. Let the emperor judge your crime. Luo Feng understood that the Emperor Yang Su referred to reporting to was the contemporary Emperor Chu. In this era, it was Emperor Chu who ruled and managed the flame-wind ancient country. Judge crimes. Luo Feng looked at him and let out a cold laugh. Daring to take action, he naturally checked everything beforehand. Attacking Xiangjia city was indeed a grave offense, but according to the laws of the flame-wind ancient country, he could still endure the consequences. Luo Feng felt it was worth it to pay some price to take the pair of godly king weapons from Yang Su. This video will end here.